Hey, it's me, and I just got home from hot yoga actually. So I am disgusting right now. I'm so gross and sweaty that I'm sitting on a towel on top of a pillow. I'm not even sitting on my real furniture because I am disgusting. But I just got in here, and on the drive from the yoga studio to home, I was just thinking about how much I love it when I go to yoga, and how I don't do it often enough. And there are a few reasons why. I used to do yoga a lot. I'm pretty naturally flexible. I've always been put both legs behind your head and stand on your hands type flexible. But as I age and as I have injuries, I get less flexible. I mean, I think that's the way it goes if you don't stretch regularly, if you don't demand that of your body. Basically, if you don't use it, you lose it. So yoga has gotten more challenging for me. Like when I take breaks, it's harder for me to go back because I know it's gonna be hard again. It's not, the more you do it, the easier it becomes because your body becomes more flexible. And once I'm away for a while, I stay away longer because I know when I go back, it's gonna kick my butt, which I need. Outside of the physical benefits of yoga, the flexibility, the strength, I love it when in the beginning I can't do. There's this if you know what a plank is. Most people know what a plank is. If you don't, Google it. It's basically the top. Like you do push-up, you go down and you go up. It's the up part of a push-up. So that's called a plank. And there's all of the yoga poses, they have Sanskrit names. They also have an English correspondent or translation. So you go from plank to, it's called chaturanga. You go from high plank position, and then you lower yourself slowly so that your elbows are at 90 degrees from the floor. You know what? That's math. I don't do math. I'm an artist. I'm sorry. But your elbows are bent, and you're hovering. Your body's hovering over the floor. When I first started doing yoga, there was no hovering. There was up and there was on the floor, and that was it. And I was doing yoga I don't know, probably 4 to 5 times a week. And within a few weeks, I was like, oh my goodness, I can do this. It seemed impossible before. I've never had a lot of upper body strength. Most women don't have that much naturally. If you work on it, you can. And so when I lift weights, I develop a certain type of strength, but I've never been able to do pull-ups. I haven't worked that hard at doing them, so I'm sure that's part of it. And push-ups, I always had to do the girl push-ups because the other ones were too hard. There was me up, and then there was me on the floor. There was no hovering. I just didn't have that kind of strength. And so to see that with yoga, I could develop that type of strength, and yoga wasn't just about stretching. I also, probably an even greater benefit than the physical benefits that I get from yoga are the calming effects of yoga for me. I know some people there are different types of yoga. There's hatha yoga, there's ashtanga yoga, which tends to be more athletic. Hatha tends to be more of a flow type of yoga. What's the other one? Anusara yoga, which is a lot about alignment. It's Iyengar. I don't remember what that one's about. I don't know if I've ever taken it either. But there are different yoga traditions. And the yoga studio that you know what, I'm not going to do a commercial for a yoga studio. Y'all don't even need to, it's not important what yoga studio I like the best. But I do like warm yoga. I like hot yoga. I do like hot yoga. Because Maybe it's because I've sweated all the water out of my body by the time I leave, but I feel so light and airy. I guess if somebody keeps you in a hot box for an hour and a half and then lets you out, you're gonna feel good because you're out. But it's so challenging that I have to focus. Ugh. Even like the bridge of my nose is sweaty. My glasses are sliding. It's such a challenge for me that I have to focus. A big thing is focus on your breath. So I listen to myself breathe. And if you know anything about me, if you watched a few of these videos, or especially my 30 Days of Gratitude series, you know that I have a hard time slowing down. I have a hard time just relaxing. So just focusing on breathe in, stop, breathe out, stop. Just doing that over and over and over and over and over again for an hour or an hour and a half. That slows me down in a way that I don't in my day-to-day life. That benefits me more than the twists and the whatever, but I have to focus so much because the physical aspects of it are demanding. I mean, like I'm, twisty or whatever, so the twisting poses aren't really hard. My hips are pretty open, so there's a pigeon pose that I can do. Camel pose. It's like almost a back bend type pose. Those aren't that difficult. The strength part of it, the stamina part of it, where, oh my goodness, I get mad. Like I'm cussing in my head and trying not to cuss in my head. Just trying to focus on your breathing, girl. When the yoga instructor who is walking around, not doing the poses with us, she's adjusting students so that we're all, in the right alignment. We aren't doing things that are going to hurt us. She's walking around while she's talking us through the different poses that we should be doing. So sometimes they go off on a tangent. I say she because it's usually a woman in the classes that I'm in, but I have had male teachers also. Sometimes the teacher goes off on a tangent or starts talking about something or reading something or quoting something or whatever is going on. And I'm thinking, do you remember we're in this pose? I know you're not in this pose, so you don't know how hard it is to hold this. So stamina, and then that's when the talk. Oh my God, I'm about to die. All of that is going on. And I have two options. I can either stop and like lay down on my mat or just refuse to do the pose any longer. And sometimes that's necessary. If I just can't do it, then, okay, I have to not stay in that pose forever. I can leave the class anytime I want to, but I don't want to do that. Or I can focus on my breathing. And it's really, I don't want to say mind over matter because I'm not thinking about stuff. I'm focusing on my breathing so that I'm not thinking about, dude, don't you know we've been in this pose for like 68 seconds and this is hard. So it's really a way of training my brain to focus on right now. Right now. I've heard people say that yoga is demonic. Yoga is not for Christians. There's all this chanting and stuff. I have been to classes where there was chanting or songs, or I don't know what they're called. There's a name for them, but I can't think of what they're called. No, I don't remember. I could make something up, but I don't remember what there's a name for them, a Sanskrit name. And I didn't enjoy that as much because I don't know the song. That's not my thing, but I know a lot of people get some joy out of that. It's not my thing. Like, I don't know the words of the songs. I don't know what what they're saying, and I don't like singing stuff if I don't know what's being said. I don't think it's demonic, but for people who do think it's demonic or it's against whatever your religious beliefs are, I would just say to do some research and find out what's being said, and also know that that's not the only kind of yoga. That is not, most types of yoga are not chanting and stuff, chanting and singing and any of that. I've never been to a yoga class where I've had to pray to pray to anybody, honestly. You set an intention for the class. Tonight, the teacher set the intention, which I had never had before. Usually they'll say, okay, set an intention for your practice, because your practice is yours. Your yoga practice is, you're not supposed to be focusing on what the person on the mat next to you is doing. You keep your focus on what you are doing on your little rectangular mat. Occasionally, I do find myself, especially if I'm struggling and there are days when my mind is just wandering and I'm trying to wrangle it back to focusing on my breath. And, I see the bendy chick on the mat next to me who's just like, I'm having a rough time. But then I want to compete. I can do that. I can do it. Not today, but I can do it. And that's when I fall over. When I start thinking about what other people are doing on their mats, that's when I fall over. Because I'm not focusing on my breath and allowing my body to do what it knows how to do. Could be a metaphor for a lot of things in life. When we're so focused and concerned and worried about what other people are doing, what other people are saying, what other people are thinking, do we have somebody else's approval? I do think it weakens us. I think when we focus, when we keep our minds on our own mat, so to speak, in life, we are better able to move forward with greater focus on our own stuff instead of somebody else's stuff. And that's where our power is. So there are a lot of reasons that I like yoga. I really need it. I really need to not stop going ever. Sometimes, as most of us, sometimes I got more money than others. And yoga tends to be friggin' expensive. Once upon a time I had a membership to a yoga studio, and it was like $124 a month. I just found out they went up to $155 a month, which I think it's cost prohibitive. Like my regular gym membership is $34 a month. I can go, I usually do weights. Lately I've been on the treadmill because next weekend I have a 3 mile walk. I'm doing the color run, but I'm going to be walking. I won't be running. I have that coming up, and I want to make sure that, that I don't have any problems walking. So it can be cost prohibitive, but if you're new to a studio, they usually let you go for a week. Some of them for 30 days. Like you pay a low fee, and it's a trial membership. So a lot of studios have that. A lot of them have what they call a community class for like $10. You pay $10 and you go to that class every week or something like that. Or you can do yoga if you're disciplined. I follow a lot of yogis and yoginis on, a male yoga practitioner is a yogi, a female yoga practitioner is a yogini, and I follow a lot of yogis and yoginis on Instagram. Just I find them inspiring just to see what the human body can do. As a matter of fact, one of my paintings here. I'm going to turn this around. Hang on for a second. How do I turn this thing around? Wait a minute. You see that painting right there? That's a man in scorpion pose. I was inspired to paint that by some photos that I saw from the Africa Yoga Project. I don't even remember how I heard about them. I stumbled upon them, and I saw just photos that this photographer had taken, and I was just awestruck, really. It's a nonprofit organization that teaches yoga to Kenyans, and now it's Kenyans teaching yoga to other Kenyans in Africa. And I just there's something about yoga that I'm drawn to, and I think you're drawn to things that you need. I don't know. At least that's in my life. You know what? I shouldn't say that, because a lot of people are drawn to some weird stuff, weird, dangerous stuff that's hurtful to other people. And yeah, but I'm drawn to things that I need. I know if something shows up in my life again and again and again, then there's a lesson there for me. And I've never left yoga not feeling good. Yoga is one thing that always just makes me feel like that. Like that. Theater is another one, but that's not what this video is about. Yeah, I just wanted to share with you. I know I have friends who do yoga. I have friends and family who have never done yoga, and some are curious, some are just totally not interested. Yeah, they run the gamut. And I just wanted to let you know the benefits that I get from it. So, now that I'm back, this one class means I'm back. I want to go more often. It's just so good for me. And now that I know that I took some time away, I went to a class after postponing, okay, I'm going to go to yoga. Oh, it's got to be so hard. That kind of thing for a very long time now. We're talking like months. I've been having that. Go back to yoga. You're going to love it. You need it. It's got to be so hard. That was really what was going on. It's got to be. I can't do it. I'm going to have to start from step one again. Now that I've gone and I made it through class and I didn't die and I feel great at the end of it, I'll go back. I'll go back and do my best to be committed. Oh, that's another thing that I love about yoga is in class, this struck me a few years ago, that we're all at different levels of strength. We're at different levels of flexibility. Some have been practicing for years. Some, this is their first time in class. Different ages. You got, youngins that are like able to bend themselves into pretzels. You got older people who are doing, they're doing good to be upright. Some of these people, you got people with injuries and surgeries and who are rehabbing themselves. You got people from all walks of life in all types of physical, mental, emotional conditions. And we are each on our own little mat, doing our own little thing. But there's a unity in that we're all there just doing the best that we can. And it feels like another parallel to life. We are all here, there are a whole lot of differences, but we're all here just trying to get by, trying to do the best that we can. That's it. And some days we hit a personal best. Some days we hit a personal low, but we just keep showing up. So that's it. That's all I want to say. All right.